So let me go ahead. Oh, Tiffany's hopping on and it says my name, I bet. Still from last time.
I
Uh,
know. I was trying to sign out. Sorry. Can I just leave it like
it's
that so I don't
it's
have to sign
fine.
out?
No,
Okay.
it's fine. You should be able to click and change the name. I think in the three little dots,
Okay, let's
you
see.
can rename it. That's up to you. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
All
yes.
right. So thanks for hopping on. So um for this month, I'm passing down, like I said, some of the things I've learned from Rebecca and Melissa. um, because their content's always great. And so the lead flow lab that I did last month, I'm just passing down some of those things to y'all. So first of all, let me get back over here. Announcements. We still have the same incentive. Enroll three to get the trucker hat. Shout out to Mika. She's got two of three. Janet's got one of three. I got a +1 today, so that was a good thing. But yeah, enroll three, get the trucker hat. Enroll six, you get the $400 and another hat. And then enroll 12, you get another $400. So same incentive as before. Nothing's changed with that. Um, Always remember the opportunity calls Monday nights at 8, and the product calls are Thursday night at 8, and that's Central Time. But otherwise, no, not too much as far as team announcements. We do have one more sample group, the 29th and 30th. So, all right. So we're going to talk a little bit about batching and some marketing. And then I have a whole page that they gave us of more ChatGPT prompts that we can use. And then I'm also, I did the lead flow lab, but I'm also in the coalition. It's a year-long thing. And so there was even more that they put in there. So I'll pass all of those on to y'all too. But so thanks, Tiffany, for leading last week. So hopefully you are using your pillars and doing ChatGPT to come up with your content. Um, I've noticed a change in my interaction since I've been doing that. Hopefully, y'all have too. I see some people nodding, so hopefully you have. And what I love is in Chat GPT, just keep the conversation going for whatever you're talking about in that chat thread. So now, like for this week on Sunday, I was like, okay, give me more posts for this week, based off my posting plan. And it just gave me, and then like, Tiffany was saying, you can say, give me some ideas on what to post with this, pictures or graphics, and it'll do that too. So you can keep that thread going. Um, but so as far as batching, let me get back over to here. Okay. So batching is just basically being prepared. So there's four parts of the batching system. If you want to jot these down, first is capture, second is create, third is compartmentalize, and then four is calendar. So it's basically just building a little bit more on our getting it to give us a posting calendar or a posting plan for the week. But capture is basically collecting ideas of visuals as you live your life. So, when you're mixing up your pink drink, if you're somewhere you've never mixed it, like take a quick picture of it. Or if you're at the gym with your pink drink, like different places, just thinking along those lines. Saving posts, taking screenshots. They call it, they also talk about B-roll. I don't know if y'all have heard of that, but just making little videos along the way that you can use in your content. Create, that means turning what you've gathered into real content. And that's basically going back to the design, our weekly posting plan. Um, and then compartmentalize is organizing it into categories, which would that be our pillars, and then the calendar. So it's basically just giving a name to what we're doing. But I think it's just important to be thinking about what you can use for content, whether it's, you know, like for me, chiropractic, maybe I take a picture when I'm at work, of my activator or my table, whatever it is your pillars are, um, things that you're using that you can use for future posts that you can plug into your calendar. So um, that's basically the batching. It's not a whole lot to that, but as far as the marketing side, they said the secret sauce to good marketing is if people aren't buying, it's either a value issue or a desire issue. So either they haven't seen the value or it's not something that they're desiring. So to increase desire, they said use real life stories that show emotion or lifestyle transformations. Paint the after paint the act paint the after picture. What will life feel like with your product or offer? Like what changes will they see? Um, Speak to the identity, like this product is for the woman who's ready to blank. Um, Ask what would this make possible for them? This gives me the energy to play with Eliana, sitting in the floor. I don't have pain in my hip joints now. I can get in the floor with her. Like, just be thinking of those things, like who your target audience is and what they are struggling with. Says use. Okay, I'll talk. Go. Scout needed to come say hi. He hasn't seen me since I got home. Okay. Use voice of the customer language. They should feel like you're in their head. And so that's increasing desire. Increasing perceived value is showing the difference your product or service makes, like before and afters. Break down the benefits, like what's included and what it's worth. Using analogies like, for instance, this is a full meal replacement for a fraction of the cost. Add social proof, like testimonial screenshots, stories of results. And so just basically it boils down to if they're not seeing a value in something, they're not going to buy it. And that's anything, if you were to go shopping on Amazon, the same thing, you've got to see that it would be some type of value in your life. Like Tiffany posted her dog cot, and I'm like, okay, I need to know about that. I think Scout would love that. He loves to sunbathe. I'm like, maybe. And he's been getting on my lounge chairs outside and laying on the cushions. I'm like, maybe if I had that, so it's the same kind of thing. People have to see a value. It says people are wired to want what will improve either their confidence, their energy, their appearance, their productivity, their relationships, how others view them, or their status. So just thinking along those lines as you're coming up with your posts and your posting plan. So this was something I thought that was interesting. They said, find the gold. Turn one post into 5. So pick one piece of content that got decent engagement or felt like aligned with your voice. So you would go back through some of your past posts and say, okay, what got some good engagement? And then you can repurpose it. And so it says a post that got solid engagement or a story you loved telling, or a caption that just felt like you're going to multiply it by either changing the format, switching out the photo, telling it again in a different way, zooming a little more into what you were talking about, or zooming out. So that's something too, we can always go back and be like, okay, what did I post, Plexus wise that got good engagement? You can take that and repurpose it in a different way. Reposting. They said pick a post you shared 3 or more months ago that you loved but didn't get the reach it deserved. Either rewrite the hook, use a new visual, or post it again. Most people won't remember, but the right ones will see it this time. So I thought that was kind of some just good tips for marketing that they gave. More pro tips is talk to one person, not a crowd. Like who's that specific person you're trying to reach? Using your face and your voice. Like they said, it's okay to repeat yourself. So yeah. And then weekly stories. I don't know who all uses your stories, but things that you can do with your stories is like behind the scenes, talk of what's working for you, um, give personal moments, um, face to camera, social proof like testimonies, and those kind of things. So those are some of the things they talk to us about as far as marketing. But I'm going to give y'all um, these chat GPT prompts. And I think what we'll do is do this first one. Like we'll just, I like to voice clip into chat GPT. I don't know if y'all do that. It will turn it into text. Has anybody done that? Voice memo into it? Yeah. So let's pull up ChatGPT. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get this on the screen. Let me zoom into it. Okay. So let me share my screen now that I have that pulled up. I'm wanting us just to get used to using ChatGPT. Like my son just uses it as it's Google. Like he doesn't even open Google anymore. He asks ChatGPT everything. Um, so I'm going to give y'all this whole list right here that are a bunch of different prompts. I'm going to pull up the screen, and from one of the ones on the screen that you can see, I want you to just voice it into ChatGPT. Can y'all see the screen? And then maybe some of you can unmute and tell us what it told you. So let's take a couple of minutes to do that. So can y'all see those? Like if you just voice message them into ChatGPT, can you read them? Yes, nodding. Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to mute so I can do it. There we go. Does anybody want to share? It's amazing. I think Beth, are you talking? You're muted. Are you still talking to ChatGPT? Okay. If y'all need me to keep this on the screen, I can.
Will you share that with us too?
Yeah, I've got it saved as a PDF. And then they gave us some other ones in the coalition. And so I can put those into PDF form, or I can just put them in the Together We Rise chat or group. It's written in a Facebook group. So I just got to copy paste it. But does anybody want to share one?
I
So
had a
I
good
went,
story one. The
okay,
second one,
right
or
here.
whatever, write a story. Yes.
Okay. So read what
It,
you wrote and then what ChatGPT said.
I said, write a short story style post that shows how my products from Plexus make daily life easier for someone who is almost 50 without sounding salesy, and then give me some ideas for photos, B-rolls, or faceless videos to go with it. And it just basically was there was a time not long ago when I would wake up already feeling behind, tired, bloated, foggy. I'd stand at my closet tugging at waistbands, frustrated. that even my comfy clothes felt tight. When it goes on, coffee helped a little, then came cravings, the crash, afternoon slump that hit like clockwork. One day in the middle of unloading the dishwasher, I paused and thought, is this just how it's going to be now? Like, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But something in me knew I deserved better. So I started small, a drink first thing in the morning, a capsule before bed, a few minutes reading the label, wondering if these little daily habits could shift something bigger. Fast forward to a few months, I wake up easier. My digestion doesn't hold me hostage anymore. My jeans fit better. I laugh more. I snack less. And my energy, it stays with me throughout the day. No magic, just support inside and out. I didn't overhaul my life. I just added a few things that helped me feel me again. Almost 50 feels lighter, and I didn't even know I needed it.
Awesome.
Like, that would be a really good post.
Yeah. Well, and what I like
I made
is
that
if you
happen
want it
too.
to be shorter, just say make it shorter and
I know,
it'll
I
make
do
it
that a
shorter.
lot. And then
Yeah. Or make it longer.
it gave me five different areas. Like, so it gave me five areas for a graphic or something to go with it. And then under the five areas, it gave me like four more. So I could do morning routine. I could do my closet getting dressed. I could do kitchen moments. I could do movement energy moments or a calm evening. And then it gave me ideas underneath there. So literally like 15 different ideas of a picture to
I
go
love
with it.
that.
Mm-hmm. Because that's personally what I struggle with the most is like, okay, this text sounds great, but like, well, because people gravitate towards your picture.
Yeah. Well, that a
So,
lot of times stops the scroll, or maybe that first line of
right,
text is what stops them scrolling. You know,
right.
like it to me, it's almost like standing in the closet, pulling at your waistband, like might need to come up in that,
Yeah,
so it's
right.
in that first little set, like something that's going to be like, because there'd be somebody that see that the same morning's like, ugh, feeling that
Yeah,
same way.
yeah. Like a
So,
pile of clothes on the floor or something of your
right.
closet or
Yeah.
something that don't fit.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Anybody else want to share? Anyone unmute?
I asked it to help me write a story style caption for the day when I felt tired and overwhelmed, and how my Plexus Slim and Active supported me. Um,
This one.
it says some days just hit different, the kind where the to-do list grows faster than I can keep up, and even the simplest tasks feel heavy. Today was one of those days, tired, overwhelmed, and wondering how I was going to make it to the end. But I paused, took a deep breath, and gave myself a little reset. I grabbed my Plexus Slim and later my Active, not as a magic fix, but as something that helps me show up for me. Within a short while, I felt a shift, not just in energy alone, but in mindset. More steady, more present, more like myself. I'm learning that it's okay to lean on the tools that support my well-being and that it's more than okay to slow down, refocus, and keep going. But here's where it's weird. At the end of it, it says, would you like to tweak it for a specific time of day or activity, like watching your grandkids or working at the ice cream shop?
See, it knows
How
you.
does it know all
Yeah.
this
It
stuff?
knows you because you put that in there.
It's
See, I love that.
creepy, though.
Mhm.
Yep.
It just gives me the creeps, though.
No, it is weird, but it's neat because it knows you and it knows
Yeah,
um, those aspects of you that you would normally post about anyway. So yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
I guess. But yeah, that was neat. I could change that up a little bit to give myself what my last 2 weeks was like.
Yep. All right. Anyone else want to share?
I didn't get when I was trying to voice memo, I was behind the game and then everybody else was talking, so it was picking up what
Oh.
everybody else was saying. But I'm just saying that I have been using ChatGPT, and I had a really good one last night that got a lot of interaction. Um, but something I do is I ask it to please do not use Plexus. Please do not use the name Plexus. I'm specifically working towards attraction marketing.
That's a
And
good idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what will it put in place? Will it say like pink drink or will it say
Uh, yeah.
okay,
Or
okay,
just,
just not the
mm-hmm,
word plexus, yeah.
just not the word Plexus. Because what I've learned is that is Plexus can be like a flag,
Mm.
a word that's flagged, or it gets the post gets served, so to speak, to other Plexus people, because you know how we get posts about things that in our timeline about things we're interested in. So anyway, so that's one thing I tried to do.
Yeah. Love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Jamie, Lori, or Mika?
I did the
Anyone?
first one about the list of reasons.
This one here?
The very first one. Yeah, here are the reasons I originally bought and the reasons a few of my recent customers bought. Can you help me brainstorm other reasons people like me would buy in a list form? And it gave me 25 reasons in different categories: wellness-driven reasons, lifestyle and energy reasons, family-oriented reasons, freedom and fun reasons, and mental and emotional wellness reasons.
So then you could take that and say, okay, take one of these wellness reasons and write me a post, you know, like kind of use one of these other prompts and then just keep that going. Like you could come. Sorry. Get away from the door. Sorry, I just want my water bottle. But yeah, you could turn that one list into how many posts, you know,
A lot.
just keeping that going. Yeah. But sometimes when I've done stuff like that, like the ideas or the lists reasons, I'm like, oh, I would have never thought of that, you know? So love it. Anybody else? So I use the same one as Janet. Write me a short style caption about a day when I felt tired and overwhelmed, and how this one health habit of drinking my pink drink and taking my probiotics supported me. I want it to feel personal and encouraging, not like I'm selling. And it just says, kind of started out the same as Janet. Some days just hit harder than others. I felt tired, overwhelmed, and on edge. And honestly, the old me would have pushed through on fumes. But I've learned to pause and support my body instead of ignoring it. My pink drink and probiotic are small daily habits that help me feel more grounded, calm, and like me again. It's not a magic fix, it's consistent care, and it's made a difference. But, you know, and then I could also say, end this with a call to action or a question to help encourage people to comment, and it would come up with something. So just keep the conversation going in that thread. And you know, it's amazing what it will do for you. So even with your pillars, like just stay in that same, if you're doing a posting schedule, which is just help. The posting schedule is what's helped me the most. Be like, what am I going to post about today? And just like, oh, I'll just grab one of those. Made it easy. It's what I did this morning. So, all right. So I'm going to give y'all this whole list. Not sure how many are on here, but then over in Coalition, they have another, where was it? Let me find the picture that was on. That's where I found it. I put it in my, oh, I don't know where I put it, or I don't know where it's at, but I put it in my messages to myself. So let me find that. All right, so there's 10 more. So she said, I've noticed some of us are struggling to create compelling, engaging posts for social media. And let's be real, the best content doesn't happen by accident. If you're feeling stuck, I've got your back with 10 game-changing prompts that will help you write better captions for your Plexus business, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or your stories. Here's 10 prompts you can use right now. So I'll get these to y'all as well. I mean, I think it's interesting how even if we would have all chosen the same one from that list, we would have gotten different content because it's your chat GPT starting to learn you and your family and your habits. And so we could use the same prompts and we're all putting something different out there, which will help prevent that copy paste stuff, that we can tend to get in a habit of doing just because it's easy. And because it's something you can grab, so, but you can also take a post and instead of copy pasting it, if you were like, oh my God, that really hit. Like sometimes I'll save people like Jill Renfro, Emily Roberts, like I'll save some of their posts because I'm like, gosh, she's probably using ChatGPT, but I'm like, golly, that was just good. And then you can take that and put it in ChatGPT and say, rewrite this and make it sound more like me and fit, me and my family. And it'll come up with something new. So it's just amazing. ChatGPT it's crazy. It is a little creepy, but it's something that I feel like will help us come out of any ruts that we feel like we're in as far as content and getting engagement and that kind of thing. So
And you
any
can
other?
also, I was going to say, you can also feed it like you can do it in reverse instead of asking for the text first and then photo suggestions. If you have a photo, you can submit the photo and say, this is the photo I'm going to be using. I'd like at this topic, and then it'll write the text to support the photo.
Yeah. Kind of like we did. I don't know when y'all did that first assignment that I gave y'all, where it was like, come up with a heartfelt post about whatever. Yeah, I put my picture in there. I don't know if y'all did that. I showed it the picture that I was using because then it was like it knew that Todd was sitting in the floor with Eliana. Like but it's crazy how it already knows my family and who they are. This is kind of weird, but
I have to tell you a quick story about how I know that because I'll make this real quick. About a month ago, Zach sent me a picture he's like, what is this stuff? And it's a picture, it's a little pile of something brown outside of his closet. He's like, I keep cleaning it up and it keeps coming back. I'm like, well, is it sticky? Does it smell? And, he's like, no. And he goes, it's just like a little pile of brown stuff. So that's all I had to go on. So I text ChatGPT and I said, I told him or her the whole story. And he said, okay, can you give me a photo? And so I go, yes. And so I took Zach's photo, gave to ChatGPT. And on the spot, those are drywood termites. They're very common in Florida. You need to get an exterminator ASAP.
oh my gosh.
So
Isn't
I mean,
that crazy?
I'm sold on it. Yeah,
That's why I said Devin used it as Google. He doesn't open
I
Google
do too.
anymore. He
I
asks
do
it
too.
everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hoping is that eventually it will have where you can make folders because like I have to scroll and find. But I have learned delete ones that you're like, I don't need that. That'll help free up some, but I'm hoping that they'll make it almost kind of like boards, like, okay, these are all of my stuff for my Plexus posting. This is my stuff for my family, like whatever. I'm hoping one day they'll come to that, but not sure. All right, well, it's 7:30. Let's do prayer requests really quick. And then we can hop off. Anybody got anything? Let's see. Ah, no prayer requests. I was looking to see what I had down. So next week we're going to talk about conversations, and it's a lot of stuff. I'll probably end up just saving those pieces of the Lead Flow Lab workbook and make a PDF out of it. But the 3-2-1 method, which I think this kind of goes back to how we can find leads, how we can get new people showing up in our stuff. So it's pretty interesting. But all right, no prayer requests at all.
Is next week
Memorial
next
Day.
Oh, next week is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What we gotta do?
Should we do Tuesday? I didn't think about that. We could do Tuesday night. Let me look at my schedule. I think I work, but I get off at 6. Tuesday the 27th. I don't know if that will work for y'all.
We're camping, but if I have signal, I'll try to make a connection.
Try to hop on. Otherwise, the next one would be the 2nd, which would be June, which would be our kickoff call.
Mhm.
So I can put a poll in the Together We Us chat. Like, would y'all like to do Tuesday night or Wednesday next week? See what y'all think. I mean, I can always save that and use it in June as well. It's not, to me, this ChatGPT stuff is the stuff I get to using it right away. So I could just save it if we just skip next week. So I'll put a poll. Skip it Tuesday, Wednesday. Y'all choose. Okay. So no prayer requests. All right. Well, let's just close in prayer. All right. Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight and we just, first of all, just want to thank you for the time that we have on Monday nights. And I just always look forward to getting on here and seeing everyone's face, and it helps me still feel connected. And we just want to thank you for that. No specific prayer requests tonight, but Lord, you know what's on all of our hearts. You know what each one of us and our families are going through. And I know there's got to be some unspoken things here tonight. So, Lord, I just lift all of that up to you. I pray that you just bless us this week. Help us to utilize this technology in a way that will honor you as well as grow our businesses. And we just ask this all in your name, we pray. Amen. All right. So I'll put a poll. Y'all can decide which day, or I can save that content for June either way. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye.